Welcome home, residents. It's your mayor Alistair back once again with a jam-packed Atomic News update. We've got a new Godzilla fighting game coming in the form of a mod for Save the Earth, where you'll be able to play as ZILLA. We have big news for the upcoming date of Godzilla X Kong Titan Chasers, some leaked concept art for this unseen GXK the New Empire Titan, and an unboxing for the new Higher Skullcrawler, courtesy of yours truly. So, let's get to it. First off, I want to bring attention to this new trailer for Save the Earth Melee, which starts with an epic cinematic cutscene where Final War's Godzilla clashes with ZILLA just like it did in the 2004 film. But instead of immediately smacking him into the Sydney Opera House, ZILLA actually clings onto Godzilla and deals some damage. Now, of course, there are a lot of people that don't like this monster because it goes against everything Godzilla stands for. At least that's what they say, but I personally love it. It's what introduced me to Godzilla back when I was only a few years old. Same for a lot of other people. It's super nostalgic for me, and seeing it being playable in this new mod just brings me so much joy. We get to see it stomping, flipping, kicking, being as athletic as this iteration of the King of the Monsters should be. I like how animalistic this thing is compared to the more human-like proportions of the OG Godzilla. They really nailed down the look of this thing. But I was actually surprised to see this next thing. Komodo Thrax shows up as a new playable character. If you don't know who this is, she is basically ZILLA Jr.'s lover in the animated series, as ZILLA was her surrogate father for her unhatched eggs. We made a video about her quite a while ago now, so seeing her in the game is so cool. The trailer ends with Komodo and ZILLA recreating Godzilla the series intro, which I just love. But we also get an extra clip at the end showcasing just how many different designs for Godzilla there are, and how welcome ZILLA is to the pack, and they roar in unison, which is just a super sweet ending. On the topic of games, Godzilla X Kong Titan Chasers has been delayed to next year, with a new Twitter post saying it will be releasing early 2025, which comes after months of waiting as the release date has been repeatedly pushed back time and time again. Though they have said a lot of things have been happening behind the scenes to justify the delay. Tilting Point said, "We're thrilled to confirm that Godzilla Kong Titan Chasers will be available worldwide early 2025. Thanks to your feedback, we've added improvements, bug fixes, and introduced new features to make the game even better. We have just a few more carnivorous plants to prune and scales to polish. This is good because the feedback I've heard from beta players is meh. So hope we get tons of new cool features that make it really worth investing your time into. We'll get a specific release date in early February, which makes me think it will be releasing in March to coincide with the release of Monsterverse Declassified, the upcoming anthology comic book that releases March 11th. Next up, some new art for an unused Titan from Godzilla Kong the New Empire has been leaked. This Titan, Phosphora, was originally in the place of Mothra before they managed to secure the rights to her and replaced it with the Queen of the Monsters. Honestly, that was the right choice. This isn't a terrible design by any means, but it's clear the role was designed for Mothra. It just wouldn't have worked without her. But this art is definitely better than the previous ones. She just looks like an alien there. And we get to see one of her abilities, this ribbon-like beam that spins from her mouth. I have quite literally no idea what this is. My best guess is it probably wraps around enemy monsters, kind of like how Mothra's silk already works. Though the film might have actually foreshadowed this with the Iwi playing a ritualistic game using a ribbon, which is a pretty interesting revelation. What do you think about Phosphora's design? Would you like to see it in the future? Let us know in the comments down below. Before we move on, remember to subscribe and stomp the notification bell to not miss out on all this Godzilla content. Now, here I have the brand new Higher Skullcrawler. This is actually the first Higher figure I've ever owned, which I'm super excited about. Now, I was sent this by the cuties at INS Hobby, which have discounts on all the Higher figures, so check out the link in the description if you want to pick this bad boy up. We can see this box is looking really nice, as all the Godzilla vs. Kong branding and pictures of the figure look solid. So let's get this open to get a good look at this thing. Nice and simple, and wow, this thing is long.
That's what she said.
To be fair, skull crawlers are mostly tail. It's cool seeing these in person because I just made a video about what happened to them after Godzilla vs. Kong, which you should definitely check out after this video. Here we can see what I believe is its forked tongue, which I am definitely going to lose. Now let me get this thing out of its plastic-wrapped torture chamber. And first impressions are, it is very shiny. It's definitely got a different kind of feel to it, to something like SH Monster Arts, but doesn't feel cheap. It actually feels really solid. And yes, the tail has a wire in it, so you can bend it any way you want. Now this mouth is actually glued together a little bit, so stay with me while I try and pry it open. It's like glued together. Just give me a sec. There we are. It took a little bit of effort, but we've done it now. That's cool. The mouth actually has a mechanism that opens and shuts the whole thing. So let's get a closer look at this bad boy. The head and neck have full swivel movements, so you can make it look any direction you want actually pretty easily. It's not crazy, but it's decent movement. The feet can also rotate nicely. Its torso moves just a little bit, but the tail has some nice wiggle room there. And the paint job in this thing is just super nice. I love the red. It's probably my favorite Skullcrawler design. The mouth is super detailed, and the eye is actually painted on properly, which can't be said about some even more expensive figures. Overall, it's a super cool figure that I'm happy to add to my collection. It's got great paintwork. The wet skin is a super cool detail that I've never actually seen before. The articulation isn't crazy, but it does just enough to pose it dynamically against your other figures. I'm gonna pop it right next to my 2019 Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Kong Mechagodzilla. Before I go, here's a new sneak peek at Dangerville's new upcoming plush toy. This is Primus Rex, part of a new line of toys from Terracosm, a combined universe of monsters across Goji Center and Titanic Creations. He is the end result of a science experiment gone wrong in trying to control nature. He mutated himself to be the most primal and violent form, that being Primus Rex. He's super intelligent, hence the big brain bursting from his back, and he has the ability to create tools, control monsters using telepathy, and can even almost speak like a human. He hasn't spoke to me yet though. Speak to me, Primus. Speak to me, goddammit! He's got a big grin on his face because he just loves being evil, just a truly psychotic monster. Follow the link in the description to register to receive emails when this thing goes up for sale, which is only in a few days, so don't miss out because when it's up, you only have 30 days to grab it and then it's gone for good. So that's today's Atomic News, a pretty stacked update, and there's only more to come in the upcoming weeks. So remember to subscribe and stomp the notification button to become a resident of Dangerville today. And be sure to give this video a big old Kong-sized thumbs up. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.